Hey everyone, my name is Cara Bradley, and I'm going to be guiding you through a meditation practice today that will not only help you build awareness, but also build mental fitness. Mental fitness is something that's near and dear to my heart, and I love to share different ways to get mentally fit. Today, we're going to be doing a sensory awareness practice that helps you to build the capacity to feel fit from head to toe. Mental fitness happens when your body and your mind are working together, when you feel in sync and in balance. And when that happens, you feel strong, calm, and clear more often. Mental fitness is the topic of my new course with Round Class. It's called Build Mental Fitness. And it all starts with awareness. It's awareness of what you're doing, what you're thinking, and what you're feeling, what your senses are are registering. And that's what we're going to do today. Today's practice is all about heightening our awareness of what we see, hear, taste, feel, and smell. And I like to think of this capacity as living in high definition. I'll talk about that a little bit more as we get started. So let's get started. I'm here meditating with you in Michigan. I'm visiting my daughter and her boyfriend here in Ann Arbor. We had some crazy storms last night and this morning. So we're really lucky that we have power actually, because most of the town is out. So that's a good thing. And I'm excited to just get started with you. And as we begin practice, I invite you to think about how you can apply this to your everyday life, how you can apply this sensory awareness as you move in and out of work and play and home and commute and eating and drinking and resting. And when we become more aware of our senses, it makes us feel more alive. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we're all looking for, are ways to feel more alive. So please feel free to add in the chat if you're comfortable. I'd love to engage with you. I'd love to hear where you're coming from, where you're sitting with me today. And it always makes me feel so much more connected to the world when I know that I'm practicing with other people, when I know it's not just me and my little bubble, but we're actually here together. So I see that we have people coming from New Hampshire, New York, Las Vegas, Eagle Rock, Idaho Falls, North Carolina, Seattle. Wow, I've been on this cross-country trip for the last 2 months, and I've been in a bunch of those places. So I feel really connected to all of you out there sitting and taking this time for yourself. So let's get started. So find a comfortable seat. Comfortable can mean laying down if that's what you want to do right now, if you need that kind of break. Comfortable can also mean sitting up in a chair with your feet planted, perhaps your hands on your legs. And I invite you to close your eyes, especially at the beginning of this practice. Awakening to your senses helps us to experience moment to moment to moment everything that we're feeling, everything that is coming in from our outer environment, what we see, smell, taste, hear, and then also from our inner environment, from our physical sensations and our thoughts. There's many areas and disciplines of meditation that actually consider thinking to be our sixth sense. So we're going to include that in this meditation. So find your comfortable seat or position, close your eyes, and just allow your body and your mind to arrive together in this moment. That may mean a big sigh out your mouth. It may mean just a release of tension in your muscles. Give yourself a moment to arrive right here in this moment of your precious life. Notice what it feels like to be sitting or laying down. Notice what your body is touching. Is it touching the floor or a cushion? If you're seated, notice your feet planted firmly on the floor and your hands on your legs. And now, whether you're seated or lying down, notice the clothing on your skin. How does that feel? Is it coarse or soft? Is it tight or loose? This practice is about turning our attention, our awareness, onto different aspects of our current experience. So we're going to get very specific. And this is how we build attention and awareness. It's as if we're turning up the lights on all of our sensations and senses. So once again, just scanning your body, what's touching the ground. Is it hard or soft, coarse, rough, smooth? Noticing your hands, noticing your body. How does it feel to be in your skin in this moment? What do you feel on your skin? Is there an air conditioner cooling your skin? Or maybe it's a little bit muggy and humid like it is here in Michigan, so my skin feels somewhat soft and warm. Becoming aware, hyper aware, if you will, of how your body feels in space, how you feel in your body. You may notice tingling in your toes, your fingertips. You may notice goosebumps or a prickly feeling. You may notice heat rising or a coolness coming over you. You may notice some throbbing somewhere in your body, your heart pulsing through you. And of course, you may notice your breath. So let's take one more moment here to tune inward and notice the experience of breathing. Notice what it feels like to take a deep breath in and a long, soothing breath out. Noticing your body change form as you inhale. As your lungs expand, your chest lifts, and then that exhale, as your body relaxes more deeply, shoulders drop, chest drops. Becoming mindful or becoming more aware is simply turning the light of your attention on different aspects of your experience. So now, let's turn our attention to what we're hearing, to our sensory or auditory experience. Notice what you hear in the room you're in or around the building. Just take note. Allow your awareness to land on sound. You may be hearing voices outside. I hear one of those lawn cutter buzzer type things. You may hear that through the screen. You may hear birds. Go out as far as you can. Stretch your mind to listen as far out to noises in your environment. And now pull your attention, your awareness, all the way in closer, as close as you can, to the sounds in your immediate environment. And that can include the sound of your breath. Could include your tummy gurgling. It may even include your body shifting as you breathe, as you release and relax into this practice. Notice what's in your environment. Notice what you're hearing. Now we're going to allow that sense of sound to soften and fade as we turn our attention to our sense of smell. Bring your attention around your nose. Notice if there are any smells. Maybe there aren't any smells. You may smell your lingering lunch or the lotion on your skin. You may be smelling a candle or incense or some essential oils. Just by turning our attention to our senses, it can often strengthen what we notice. And mindfulness is simply that, the practice of noticing what's happening in our lives in this moment, right here and now. So we notice what we're smelling without judging, whether it's a good smell or a bad smell. We just smell. And now let's let that attention soften and fade. Just fading into the periphery as you turn your attention onto what you're tasting. Right here in this moment, what are you tasting in your mouth? And again, it could be nothing. It could be lunch, or your tea or coffee, or the toothpaste in your mouth. Just noticing. And of course, we can practice this during meals, this mindfulness of eating, of coming into your full high definition experience, of tasting, of savoring every morsel that you eat. Noticing taste. And now, let's allow that attention to soften and fade as we move on. As we move on to our thinking mind. Remember, in some traditions of meditation, they consider thinking as a sense. So let's do the same with our thinking mind. Turning your attention to what's coming in and out of your mind. The thoughts rising and falling away. Just as you turned your attention to sound and feeling, taste, and smell, you can just place a light attention on your thoughts. They will come and go just as the smell came and went, just as the lawnmower came and went. Allowing thoughts to arise without judging them, without holding on, just letting them float by your attention. Just like the cars passing by your front door make noise and then go away, your thoughts can be treated just the same. allow them to come and arise like a soap bubble. Eventually, it pops and it fades. So one more moment, noticing what your busy mind is so busy thinking. And our thoughts will continue to come, I can promise you that. We don't have to hold on to them as tightly. Sometimes you may drop into one of those precious moments between thoughts. One of those precious moments when you're just experiencing your full sensory attention, where your mind may move to something that you hear, that you feel, that you smell or taste or see. When we consider our thoughts to be just one of our senses, we allow ourselves that opportunity to live in high definition, in HD, where our senses light up and sharpen, where actually our attention sharpens around our experience. And now finally, one more sense to pay attention to, and that is our visual sense. So open your eyes ever so slowly, just a quarter of the way. Just a little bit, let this sense of sight come in to your experience. What do you notice with your eyes just a quarter of the way open? And now halfway. Open your eyes just a little bit more, but not all the way just yet. We're playing with the levers, the knobs and levers of our awareness here. It's kind of fun, actually, to see life through different lenses, like a child. So what do you see with your eyes halfway open? Noticing textures, colors, light, darkness, objects, space. And now open your eyes all the way, bright-eyed, open. Stay in this relaxed position. Now playing a little bit with depth, go ahead and let your eyes go out as far as you can see. And if you're in a room, that may just mean the corners and the ceiling. Recently, I was in wide open, big sky country in Montana. My eyes could go on forever. Sometimes our eyes and our visual experience is huge. And sometimes it's right in front of our nose. So bring your awareness now all the way in, close, right into your immediate surroundings. Noticing, again, colors and textures, objects. Notice out the sides of your eyes, your peripheral vision. What can you see out the sides? And now, simply just turn your gaze down and in front of your feet. And if you're lying down, you can just soften your gaze just a bit, but keep your eyes open. We'll allow ourselves to just bask in this high definition experience for a few more moments. You can allow your attention to play, to jump and dance like a child would on a beach. Allow your attention to play with your senses, going from, what do I hear? What do I smell? What am I tasting? What am I feeling in my skin? What do I see? And what am I thinking? We do this with the lightness and the curiosity of a child, not as a judgmental adult trying to make this meditation perfect, because it won't be, but with that curiosity, that light, open, available curiosity. What am I experiencing in my precious life in this very, very precious moment? As we cultivate this capacity to pay attention on purpose, to be more aware of what's happening in our lives right now, we start to feel more alive in our moments. We start to experience life in high definition, this HD experience where everything's lit up. Even if it's not the most perfect moment, we can still experience life fully, brilliantly, in a way where we feel most awake and alive. And so now, in the last few moments of this practice, just allow your breath to deepen. Notice your body as you breathe deeply. And if you'd like, you can start to wiggle your body around as your body wants to move. Fingers and toes, shoulders, spine. Take a look around you. Allow your eyes to roam. Allow your breath to go wide. Allow your skin to feel, your ears to hear, nose to smell. Bring it all in. Feel it all. Lighting up your body and your mind, experiencing this true gift of being fully alive right now. Carry this with you into your day. You can turn on your senses anytime, anywhere, just by turning the light of your attention onto one of your senses. Remember, there are 6 senses: sound, smell, taste, feeling, sight, and thinking. And now just take a few moments and reflect on this experience. What was it like? What was most uncomfortable, if there was anything? What sense did you feel least connected to? It's good information. Now I'd love to open up the floor for your questions or for anything that came up for you during this practice. Don't be shy and feel free to put them in the chat. One of the questions we got was, I'm feeling a bit tingling. Is that normal? Awesome. Yes, our body is always vibrating. Our energy is always changing, and our body speaks to us through the language of sensation. So tingling and quivering and coolness and heat and throbbing, all of that is great information that your body is speaking to you. And you don't really need to know exactly what your body is saying, but it's a great reminder that you are right here where you need to be, fully alive in this moment. Another question is this practice best done in the morning or bed or before bed? Both, and all day long. All day long we can check in. We can check in with one sense when you're driving. We can check in with a sense before a meeting. What's my body doing? Where are my eyes? What am I hearing? So I would say if you want to do the longer practice before bed or before morning, they're both absolutely perfect. And I don't think either one is better. Another question is, which sense do you like to meditate with the most? Which creates the most change? Wow, great question. Well, I would say, I think with eyes closed for me is easier, especially at the beginning of a practice, because we spend so much time in our visual sense and it is the most dominant. In fact, our eyes take in 10 million bits of information per second. That's a really lot of information. So by closing your eyes, it at least closes down the most dominant sense so that you can then focus on some of the less dominant senses, like maybe hearing or smelling. So I would say just play with it. I don't think there's any one that creates the most change. And of course, meditation, our traditional mindfulness practices are focused on the sensation of thinking. So we're always looking at the thinking mind. Great question. All right, I think we have one more. What's a quick mantra to get myself into this mindful, peaceful feeling? I'm going to pause for a moment and think about that. I think I would say, and this is something I ask myself often, what am I experiencing right now? What am I experiencing? Or what am I most aware of? And it could be your thinking mind. Wow, I'm really caught in my head, right? Like a brain on a stick. I'm running around, totally disconnected to my other senses. So by pausing and asking yourself, what am I experiencing right now? It can help you pause, and all it takes is a couple of seconds to run through some of those senses, to notice seeing, tasting, feeling, thinking, smelling, touching. Great question. All right, Madeline in Canada asks, how do you balance noticing a noise without getting distracted? Great question. You guys are on it today. So the noticing is the practice. In mindfulness, becoming more aware of anything, it includes noticing. So what we can do in our practice without allowing ourselves to run away with the sensation is to notice it and name it. You can name hearing a bird, hearing a lawnmower, noticing the sun on my face, feeling my belly quiver. By naming it, it'll allow you to kind of come into that state of presence so that you can then stay with what you're doing. So remember, in mindfulness, we notice everything. And it's in the noticing that brings you back to the present moment. So that's a fantastic and a really insightful question. So you may get distracted sometimes. It's going to happen. Distraction happens. But just remember, it's in the noticing that brings you back to presence. All right, so Jacques wants to know, would you recommend using things like essential oils to help awaken some senses? Absolutely. Use it all. Use yoga, use movement, use eating, use your lunch, use eating that delicious cherry. Oh my gosh, I just had the most incredible cherries in Washington. Oh no, I was in Idaho. Amazing. And I created this whole sensory practice around these delicious cherries. So whatever's in your surrounding and whatever brings you pleasure, use that to awaken your senses. Beautiful. Well, if there aren't any other questions at this time, I'd like to offer you a little bit of my own self-talk, my own self-insight. I talk to myself all day long, and I actually ask myself questions all day long. I am really a big proponent of inquiry practice, which is really to ask yourself questions. One of my favorite questions is, how can I live in high definition right now? How can I live in a way where I feel fully alive? Even if it's not one of those perfect moments when you're out on a mountain or by a beach or sitting with a bowl of cherries. It could be in a meeting with fluorescent lights and a contentious colleague. But you could still check in and come into full presence where your senses are lit up, because we are all communicating constantly through our senses. We are we have little antennae. So when our senses are sharp and our mind is awake, we not only feel better, but we do everything better. It was so wonderful to practice with you all today. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this time. Please continue to explore meditation with us, and don't forget to check out our daily live meditations at round.glass or on our app. And please practice with me. Go to round.glass/Cara, and you'll find my brand new course called Build Mental Fitness. I have much more in the course to help you feel awake and alive and help you move through your day with much more calm and mental clarity. So until next time, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. And until then, go out there and shine, because the world needs more shiny, bright people. Thank you.